So here we are, it is December the 15th, 2009, and 235 years ago today was the second taking of Fort William and Mary, which is now Fort Constitution. But this building is Studley's Tavern, and on December the 13th, 235 years ago today, in other words, 2 days ago, 235 years ago, is where Paul Revere rode from. He rode all the way from Boston to this place, Portsmouth, to Studley's Tavern to speak with a fellow by the name of Samuel Cutts, and who was from the Portsmouth Committee of Correspondence. And Revere carried a message that a royal order had been issued prohibiting the export of gunpowder to the colonies. That's what he rode all the way up here on December the 13th, 1774, to tell the New Hampshiremen about this. And so here is where the meeting took place. This is where Paul Revere and Samuel Cutts actually met. This is Studley's Tavern. So the flag that I'm holding right here is the flag of the Second American Revolution. And so we're here to symbolically kind of fight the forces of tyranny. Only today, you notice we don't really have a lot of arms, although we have them at home, and we protect ourselves and defend ourselves with them. Our armaments really are based in logic and reason and ethics and morality. So the really hard work was done back in 1774 and so on, 1776, by the founders, who did that extremely important scholarly work and backed it up with their lives. All we need to do today is to get our servant government back following those constitutions that the founding generation created. And now we're on our way to Fort Constitution. It was Fort William and Mary, so we're on our way there now. They marched about 2 miles from Studley, or from actually downtown Portsmouth right there, over to Newcastle. And apparently John Langdon spoke to a crowd in Portsmouth, and with fife and drum. I mean, they loudly proclaimed that they were in fact going to march over to Fort William and Mary and take the gunpowder. This is a New Hampshire marker. It's an historical marker. And it says the William and Mary raids, well, you can read it right there, several hundred men overpowered the small British garrison at Castle William and Mary, called Fort Constitution today. Follow the blue line. All other areas are strictly off limits. Gee, I thought this was Fort Constitution. I'm now in violation because I'm not on the blue line. Oh my God. The first victory of the American Revolution, the capture on this site, Fort William and Mary, 14th and 15th, 1,000 people were here 235 years ago today. And they lowered the British flag. They were fired on, but there were no fatalities. But this is, in fact, without a doubt, the site of the first action of the Revolutionary War. So this is the new flag of the Second American Revolution. Again, this is all with reason and logic and the constitutions. So it looks like we've taken the fort. No one's here. We claim this fort for the forces of liberty. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. We are at Fort Constitution on December the 15th, 2009. 235 years after the taking of this fort the second day, 1,000 people removed cannon from this fort. and I deliver the Articles of Freedom from Continental Congress, November the 21st, 2009. In defense of a free people, the time has come to reassert our God-given natural rights and to cast off tyranny. Let the facts reveal. The federal government of the United States of America, which was instituted to protect the rights of individual citizens, instead threatens our life, liberty, and property through usurpations of the Constitution, and emboldened by our own lack of responsibility and due diligence in these matters, has exceeded its mandate and abandoned those founding principles which have made our nation exceptional. Our servant government has undertaken these unconstitutional actions in direct violation of their enumerated duties and to the detriment of the people's liberty and the sovereignty of our republic. Over many years and spanning multiple political administrations, the people who have, in good conscience, attempted to deliberate our grievances and voice our dissent against these offensive actions through both petition and assembly have been maligned and ignored with contempt. The people of the several states, and there were 48 of them, beginning with Alaska and ending all the way down to Wisconsin and Wyoming, justly alarmed at these arbitrary and unconstitutional actions, have elected, constituted, and appointed delegates to meet and sit in General Congress in the city of St. Charles, Illinois. Whereupon these delegates, as duly elected representatives of the several states, have gathered in the defense of divine justice, liberty, and the principles of limited government. And we stand in clear recognition of the supreme law of the land, the Constitution of the United States of America. Therefore, we demand that government immediately reestablish constitutional rule of law, lest the people be forced to do so themselves. And we hereby serve notice that in the defense of freedom and liberty, there shall be no compromise to which we shall ever yield. The delegates to the Continental Congress 2009 and others from each of the several states shall serve this document entitled the Articles of Freedom, with its remedial instructions on each United States senator and representative in their offices located in their respective states, placing them on notice that we, the free people of America, believe them to be in violation of their oath of office and the Constitution for the United States of America. When a goodly number of millions of American people agree, we will therefore withdraw our financial support from the federal government in a lawful and constitutional manner and implement other responsible civic actions until all violations of the Constitution for the United States of America cease. This is my pledge. For the Creator as our witness, we hereby pledge our signatures to this end, in order to hold our elected and appointed officials accountable for all their violations, with a reminder to our public officials that they have sworn an oath or an affirmation to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. We, the undersigned, renounce and condemn initiation of force and will pursue all lawful and constitutional means to fulfill our duty. I place my name as an eternal record of the will of the people to be free. Happy 15th of December, 2009, from New Hampshire. It was a lot easier than it was 235 years ago. Of course, we came equipped with a video camera.